Well, the day has finally arrived. We have a holster for the Surefire XR1, which is the weapon-mounted light you see right here. A really powerful light for its size, 800 lumens, rechargeable and swappable battery. I really like the light, but the problem was when it came out, there was no holster support at all. But that has now changed. So, let me show you what I'm working with now. This is the WERKZ M6 IWB Holster. And now this is set up with some additional configurations, but thanks to this holster, I can finally carry my Glock with the XR1 light on it and a spare magazine, which, you know, can't really go wrong with. But I'm mostly excited for the fact that we have holster support for that light now. So I do want to talk about the holster just because I've been wearing it for a few weeks now and getting used to it. And I've been out here doing some shooting with it, which I'll throw that in here too, just because that's what's more fun anyway, right? And yeah, you can see how I've gotten some deltas while out here today, which is fine because I'm still improving, but this holster is actually really nice. And my comparison, which is usually the standard I go by, are the T-Rex Arm sidecar holsters, which are also very good holsters. At least in my opinion, some people don't seem to think so, but I do. And in comparison, this holster has been actually extremely comfortable and very modular and very adjustable, and I like it a lot. And I'm actually really happy with my purchase. So that's why I wanted to share this with everybody, because not only can you now carry your Glock or P320, or I think they have a couple of other models that they're offering now with the XR1 Lite, but you can also get a holster that's actually really comfortable and high quality. So I do want to mention that Midway USA is the biggest supporter of the channel, and thanks to them, I can get out here and give you information like this. I don't even think you can get this holster from them, but they have a lot of other holsters too. But if you're looking for a holster for the XR1, then you have to go right to WERKZ, which is cool because this is not the first holster I've owned from them. But either way, big thanks to Midway USA. Let's go ahead, take a close look at the holster. We'll run some shooting drills and stuff just to kind of show you that it's working the way it's supposed to, in the sense of allowing me to have mobility while also allowing me to get quick draws out of the holster without being impeded by anything. And yes, it does accommodate red dot sights as well, as you can see here with an Acro P2 mounted on my Glock 19 MOS slide. It's a 19X with the Glock 19 MOS slide. It's a Glock 45, whatever you want to call it. I don't even care anymore. But let's take a closer look. I'll tell you exactly what I had to buy in order to configure the holster this way, and then I'll just give you my final thoughts. All right, don't be too concerned about the bird poop. That's just part of the deal, right? So here we have the holster. We'll go ahead. That's nice and unloaded, as it was from the beginning of the video as well, which I know a lot of people were probably freaking out about. It's fine. Look at that. Not even any rounds in there right now. Why? Because I just did a bunch of shooting. So here's the M6 holster from WERKZ, and they're really modular. You usually get it with a belt clip right here on the front, and then you have the concealment claw here, and then you can add on this radius mag carrier, which I like because not only does it give me the extra magazine, which I carry for the purpose of malfunction clearing, not for the purpose of thinking I'm going to need 38 rounds while out and about, you know, but either way, this is actually really nice because it helps distribute the weight as well, because you can add these DCC clips to this system, and then where they're located right now is based on having the radius magazine carrier with the holster, and it allows you to really spread that weight out and make it a lot more comfortable, at least in my opinion. And they also come with the belt clips on the radius mag carrier as well, not just on the holster, but I just don't find those polymer belt clips to be very good in the sense of making the gun too low on my waistline, and just all in all, not something I really was too excited about, let's just say. So the DCC clips, though, were a very worthwhile upgrade. And I think for this entire system, it was about 150 bucks, which, you know, it's how much a good custom holster is going to cost right now, right? The other thing is that this little piece right here, if you can see this, it's actually a piece of Tigris or whatever you call it, but it's very flexible. It very much reminds me of something like the leather wings from Black Point Tactical, but it is that Tigris material, so gives you that flexibility and mobility in the holster for when you're carrying the extra mag. And then the way it attaches is actually kind of cool. These are just like plastic snaps or like rivets. They're not screws or anything like that. You don't have to worry about Chicago screws or any of that stuff with this setup. These just snap into place, and it's a really easy configuration. Now, according to WERKZ, you can actually reuse them if you decide to take this apart, but they're definitely, at least in my opinion, something that looks like it should be a one-time use type of deal. But this is the configuration I want anyway, so I wasn't concerned about that. You could also use some of those soft loops if you wanted to for the holster as well, but I just don't find those to be necessary for this particular setup. I don't dislike soft loops, but the way it's laid out with these clips is just perfect when it comes to how it rides on the waistline and the amount of retention that these clips have, as well as just where they position themselves on my belt. Everything kind of just works perfectly. And this has been a very, very comfortable holster. You can kind of see here where it's got some of the labeling from WERKZ in there. It's WERKZ, just in case you're trying to look this up. And like I said, okay, XR1 light fits in there, no problem at all. I also have suppressor height sights, so that's not going to be an issue for you either. And then we have that aim point acro on there, plenty of clearance for your red dot sight too. So all in all, just a really good holster. I'm actually very happy with it, and I'm going to be carrying this setup for, I don't know, into the near future from what I can tell. I really like this holster, and I also really like that light. So now we have the best of both worlds. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of where it's at. So, you know, hopefully this gives you some things to think about if you want to upgrade to the XR1 light. Now you have an option for holsters. I also want to say that the Safariland Safari Vault for the Glock 17 with a TLR1 from Streamlight will fit this setup in it. It'll actually fit the XR1, and it will lock in with the ALS locking system. It just adds a little bit of play right here on the grip of the pistol that you can kind of wiggle it around a little bit where you would otherwise not be able to, but it's still locked in with the ALS system. It's not coming out. So I'm actually fine with that in order to have a way to carry this outside the waistband securely and inside the waistband now. And then hopefully we'll get some holsters for outside the waistband that have those retention level 1 systems like the ALS system, so that we can have a really high quality duty holster that, you know, accommodates this particular light. So that's the holster close up. That's the details. That's everything you need to know about it. Final thoughts now that I've been shooting it all day and I've been carrying it for a few weeks and everything else. All right, I'm at about 10 yards. We're gonna get 1 on the first target, 2 on the second target, and then 1, 2, 3 on that first target once again. Hopefully A zones. Let's see what happens. Got some misses, but, well, not misses, but some deltas and definitely some Charlies. Let's check it out. Here's the time, which I hadn't even seen yet. Not too bad. Let's take a look. So, actually not as bad as I thought. 1 alpha, 2 alpha, then we got Charlie, Charlie. All right, next. Remember, this was just 2 shots. And we've got alpha and, oof, right on the line. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it's a Charlie because I don't like to take it easy on myself. So not too bad, especially for someone at my skill level, but I'm just gonna keep pushing it. So far, this WERKZ M6 holster is working pretty good, pretty happy with it. All right, same drill at about 10 yards. We're gonna go 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Just trying to get comfortable with the holster and just trying to make sure my skills are slightly improving. A little slow on that first shot. I guess 1.65. Maybe not that bad, actually. Let's go see what I did. Oh, got a little bit of a funky one there. So we got 1, 2, 3 alphas, and then 1 way over here, this big old delta. Better than a mic, but way off, but still 3 out of the 4 in the alpha zone. All right, I'm not too upset. Then over here, we had, see if you can see that. Got an alpha, and then we got a Charlie. So those 2 shots, there was the second round of fire. 1 alpha, 1 Charlie. All right, now we're gonna try to clear the plate rack, which is it's just more fun. So let's do it. Hey! Surprise reload. Not too bad. All right, so first shot 1.72. I'll take it with a reload in there. 7 seconds total, that's 5 shots with a reload, and at 10 yards, clearing the plate rack. Glock 45/19X, whatever kind of weird hybrid you want to call it. Can't really go wrong with that, can you? Now, the other thing to keep in mind is that this holster, the one I'm wearing, is working well. I'm actually really happy with it. XR1 light, we finally did it. I thought it'd be fun to see how fast we can hit at 100 yards from concealment, so let's give it a shot. Nailed it! .49. I'll take it. But you know, it does have a red dot on it. So, all in all, what do I think about this holster, right? Let's talk about it. Honestly, really nice holster. I'm surprised because I was assuming I wasn't going to like it as much as some of my other holsters, but in reality, it's been solid. I have nothing to complain about. The concealment claw here does a really good job of making sure that the pistol grip sticks towards your body and helps with printing and everything else. The one thing I will say about it is it's a little creaky. Let's see if you can hear it. Ready? Closer to my microphone. Hold on. There you go. Snoop Dogg snuck into your mom's room at night. So, yeah, that's probably one of the few things that I'm not really a big fan of. But if you tighten this too tight, this actually affects the retention of the holster, and then you won't be able to pull the gun out. So you can get rid of some of that squeak, but you're not going to get your gun out of the holster. So I don't know if oiling that might help a little bit or something. Works, let me know. That's the only negative though I can find about this holster, in all honesty. That little bit of creaking, which I can live with. I'm not too worried about it. Otherwise, a really nice, really capable holster that allows me to carry the XR1 light. And in general, I mean, I would consider this holster even if it wasn't for the XR1 light at this point. Like I said, I've been carrying it for a few weeks now. I have been training with it, and then we did some shooting today just to kind of demonstrate that it works perfectly fine in that capacity, right? And I would probably buy another WERKZ holster just like this for another pistol I own, in all honesty. Even though I already own a bunch of T-Rex Arms holsters, and I've tried other holsters in the past from Black Point Tactical and Crossbreed and a lot of other companies, but this is actually really nice. So good job, WERKZ M6 with their radius mag carrier. Anything else you need from me at all, go to magicprepper.com. And besides that, that's going to be it for Magic Prepper.